Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to my new series 5 for 5, where in each video I address what I believe to be 5 of the most effective exercises for a particular muscle group. Today's video is all about cardio, so let's dive right into the first of our cardio focused exercises. Now, the first piece of cardio that I'm focusing on is an upright bike, and I really love this for performing steady state or Liss cardio, low intensity steady state. Now, the fuel source for this type of cardio is predominantly body fat, but the flip side of that is we need to perform this for a duration, typically 40-45 minutes up to 60 minutes for a steady state, meaning the level at which we perform after the first 3 or 5 minutes is pretty much what we maintain for that hour. So something like an upright bike or a spin bike is great for that. It allows us to put effort in without receiving any impact back on our joints, meaning we can actually perform this for longer. Now, much like weight training where I'll add extra weight to my sets, I'll also change the intensity of the bike, the effort that I'm having to resist against over the duration of those 45 minutes. My RPM stays about the same, hence why it's a great piece of cardio to do first thing in the morning before you put any food into the body, so you can utilize body fat as the energy to get this done. The rower is one of those unique pieces of cardio equipment that allow both for steady state cardio for duration or high intensity interval training for those short bursts of energy. And I like it for both of those. I'll often alternate between the type of cardio I do on the rower on different days. Look, if we're performing steady state cardio, we know that it's a game of duration. So 30 to 40 minutes, which means we're not putting in as much effort as we might be during those short bursts of interval training. The difference between that and high intensity interval training HIIT is that we're performing short bursts of all out effort for only about 20-30 seconds at most, followed by a recovery phase of about the same time, 30, 45, 60 seconds at most. Now, what you'll find is if you're doing interval training on this, your recovery time will be shorter for the first few intervals. After about the 4th or 5th interval, you'll find that you might need longer to catch your breath and allow your heart rate to come back down, at least to the point where you can breathe and maintain conversation before then picking it back up. Now, the treadmill has many uses for different types of cardio that we can perform on it. Obviously, steady state cardio for a duration or interval training. But the problem I have with interval training on a treadmill, especially a traditional one like this, is it takes time to ramp up the speed. So if we're running on it and we need to rest, the only real viable option is to jump aside and put our feet either side of the treadmill. Now, this isn't really part of the recovery because we've then stopped what we're doing. So instead of performing interval on the treadmill, I find steady state cardio performed at an incline works best for calorie burn. Now, the key to this is to walk on the incline, not to hold onto the machine. So if you're at an incline where you find that you're holding onto the handles or the side of the treadmill, that's not going to be as effective as simply walking. I'll start at a flat rate for about the first 3 minutes, use that as my warm-up, and then over the course of the next 15 or 20 minutes, slowly start to ramp up the incline. But I know if I go much higher or much faster, it's going to push me over the edge and I'm not going to be able to maintain that same level of effort. Interval sprints. This is one of the best forms of cardio to do because we're burning both body fat and utilizing our muscles in such a way where we burn calories, not exclusively from fat, but the benefit is that our bodies will continue to burn calories at an accelerated rate for hours and hours after we finish. And that's to do with our metabolic rate, our sort of internal combustion engine for our body that controls the amount of energy burned in the form of calories. Now, this kind of treadmill, a self-powered, motorless treadmill, allows me to control the speed at which I run or walk on the treadmill, which means it's almost instant. Great for interval because we can perform outright effort for 20 seconds and then we can slow it down to a walk whilst we catch our breath, allow our heart rate to fall back down before we feel ready to pick up the pace. And whilst we can't change the incline of this type of treadmill, this is all about speed and explosiveness. So 20 seconds, outright sprint, slow it back down to a walk. Okay, so here we are with burpees. Look, let's be honest, no one really likes doing burpees. However, they're a great exercise to get our heart rate up and to keep it elevated, and they don't require any equipment. Now, of course, you can grab a jump rope and perform skipping jump ropes for 30 minutes, 20 minutes at a time to burn maximum calories. But I also wanted to include an exercise that doesn't require any additional piece of equipment. Therefore, if you don't have anything with you, at home. You can perform burpees or even these jump squats to really burn calories and especially fat as the preferred fuel source, much in the same way that you'd be doing cardio. A lot of energy is required to jump up. So simply by performing jumps, we're utilizing a huge amount of energy to get our body weight up. Perform this over repetition, much the same with the burpee. We've got the jump element at the end, a lot of energy utilized for that, but we're also going to incorporate either a push-up or a drop-down to that. I find it easier to perform these in rounds or circuits. So 10 at a time, then rest for 30 seconds, back on the floor, get another 10 in. All right guys, there we have it. That wraps up the end of today's cardio-focused exercises. Be sure to check the video description where I'll include more information about each of these cardio-focused movements, as well as give more links to my Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts showing additional cardio-focused exercises, variations, and modifications. Go put it to work, drop me a comment below, let me know what you think of these videos, and I'll catch you back here on the next 5 for 5. Take care.